Good morning, everyone. I see everybody's smiling faces here. We have our ONU veterans here, our graduates here present, and we have a lot of you that are remote. And we thank you all this morning for joining us. We really appreciate it. This is our first hybrid graduation, and we're looking forward to not having any technical issues, but you never know. We may have some of those. It's just typical when it comes to any kind of technology, as far as I'm concerned. So we want to thank you again for being here today. I'm going to introduce our very special guest speaker, retired Brigadier General Mike Fleming. And first, I'd like to thank you, all of you that are watching us today. Thank you to our sponsors, Sandler Training, Renee, Parent Shoe Photography, Cohen Veteran Network, and Vision Quest. First, I'd like to introduce Lieutenant Shaddix, who is going to give our blessing and the Pledge of Allegiance. And Lieutenant Shaddix is a member of the North American Mission Board and is committed to sharing his faith with his active duty constituents, veterans, and the entire Jacksonville community. Lieutenant Shaddix serves as Deputy Commander Chaplain at Naval Station Mayport. He partners with businesses, nonprofits, and other organizations performing invocations and benedictions for military and veteran-connected programs. We are proud to have him join the family of ONU supporters to share God's word and lead the pledge today. Welcome, Chaplain Shaddix.
Good morning. If you will, join me in a word of prayer. Let's pray. Holy and gracious God, we come to you this morning with thankful hearts for all the many ways that you blessed us. We gather today in celebration of the success and accomplishments of these outstanding men and women, and we're grateful for their dedication, their devotion, and their resolve. We're indebted to their families and friends who have provided encouragement, support, and love. And we pray that you would bless this ceremony and continue to bless Operation New Uniform as they equip these and many others for new chapters and new horizons in their lives. In your holy and precious name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
If you would please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Lieutenant Shaddix. We appreciate you. We will see you again at the end of the program. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce an amazing friend of Operation Uniform and a friend of mine personally, retired Brigadier General Mike Fleming, which I knew I was going to mess that up. But we got to have a little bit of laughter today. But I'm going to read you his bio because I could not give it any justice if I tried to wing this. So General Fleming has served in various leadership positions in the Marine Corps through the grade of captain until his transfer to the Florida Army National Guard. He has served as National Security Fellow at Harvard University and as a Congressional Fellow with the House of Veteran Affairs Committee. General Fleming has been published at NATO Review, the Journal of Homeland Security, and Harvard University. He holds a Master's of Arts with distinction in National Security and Strategic Studies from the Naval War College and the Master of Business Administration from the University of North Florida. So please help me welcome General Mike Fleming.
Michelle, thank you for that kind introduction, and it's a real honor to be here with Operation New Uniform. I've known Michelle for years and known about her passion and the passion for the ONU team for veterans, and so I'm very blessed to be here today. I think it's very appropriate that Chaplain Shaddix, who's a really tremendous supporter, open with a word of prayer, because I really think God blesses what Operation New Uniform is doing. It's really interesting today because it's a different dynamic with the COVID-19. It's just everything's different. All of us are a little bit off in our normal way of approaching things, including this graduation. But you have overcome that. And I think by both serving in the military and also becoming an ONU graduate, you've decided you want to continue to excel. I remember in the Army, we had a physical fitness test, and you did push-ups, sit-ups, and a 2-mile run. And it used to aggravate me at the beginning of the event, the Army physical fitness test, when I'd hear a senior leader say, "What's the minimum?" In other words, for my age, what's the minimum? And I would think to myself, you would never ask a soldier or anybody in the military, what's the minimum to get by? You always want to know, what can you do to excel? And I think this is what ONU captures. ONU never asks, what's the minimum? You always ask, what's the potential? What can you do? And I think they're helping you release the potential that you have. For your graduation today, you're really going to move on to a new part of your life. I want to challenge you to think how you can leverage your skills to be productive in the workplace and in your community. The question becomes, what will you do with the rest of your life? There are many honorable professions in which you can work, but you have to make a decision where you're moving from here. I would ask that you look and see what kind of position or what kind of occupation you can do that you can pursue passionately. The worst thing is waking up on a Monday morning and dreading you have to go to work. If you do that, then it really becomes a true job. Think of it as a vocation, as something, a passion for you, you really go far. Part of finding the right role in life is defining how you define success. Many people define success as having money and possessions, and I like money and I like possessions, but I think there's much more than that. In the Bible, in the book of Esther, Queen Esther is faced with a dilemma. Her people are being threatened with being slaughtered if she does not go before the king. But she could be executed if she goes before the king without being summoned. Her uncle listened to her dilemma and offered this advice. He said, "Who knows but that you have come to your royal position for a time such as this?" I would submit to each of you that you have been placed in your life for a time such as this. Only you have a sphere of influence with your family, your friends, your coworkers, and you're the only one that can fill that. What will you do with this unique role? How will you move forward? The first thing I think is, and I'm sure they talked about this in ONU, is have a plan and work your plan. But before that, what's the foundation? What do you want to do with your career? Depending on your circumstances, you may decide money, location, family, or other factors may be the most important thing to you. None of those are wrong. But if you decide one of them is the most important, if you only want to live in Northeast Florida, you only want to live in Nebraska, that's going to limit the jobs you have. If you want to pursue the most money, there's nothing wrong with that. But you may lose control of where you live and the number of hours. Because the more money you get paid in the civilian world, just like in the military, the more time you're expected to invest. And you have to decide what that life balance looks like. And once you've decided that, when you start pursuing your career, I want you to be confident in what you're doing. Your unique skills are definitely coveted by employers because you have the prerequisites. You have the characteristics that any type of business would want. Business studies have validated that hiring a veteran actually enhances a business. It's not just a patriotic thing to do. It actually enhances the businesses. And veterans, as you know, are high on learning agility. In a job interview, you have to be a little bit different than what we were taught in the military. You can't deflect credit to everybody else for your accomplishments. Each one of you knows as you move up in the ranks, what you're taught to do is you take the blame for something that goes wrong and you give credit to your soldiers, your Marines, your sailors, your Air Force personnel, whoever that is. But you have to, in a civilian world, during your interview, talk about what you did accomplish. And it takes a little bit of change. The other thing I'd say is you look at an interview, make sure you're prepared. What is your business case for joining that company? Not I'll be good in the company, is why will hiring you make that company better? Because there's a bottom line for any kind of company, whether it be a nonprofit, for-profit, doesn't matter. They have a mission. How can you contribute to that mission? And part of this is preparation. When you go for the interview, what do you know about this company? Many years ago, I had the opportunity to apply for a congressional fellowship. And I was told, there was an interview, and I was told, don't worry about preparation. It's just an interview. Well, I was working at the Pentagon at that point, and I did not take that advice. And so I went down into the Pentagon library, and this is before the internet. So I actually looked at real newspapers, real, real magazines, real things you hold in your hand, and looked at it. And what it was, I wanted to make sure I was up on current events. And so, because I felt like, well, if I'm going to work as a congressional fellow, they would want to make sure that I knew something about current events. And so I did my study, and then I went to the interview. And not only did I get selected for the congressional fellowship, I got a foreign affairs fellowship at Johns Hopkins University. So, and I think that was directly related to my preparation. So when you go in there, preparation, just like in the military, is the career. Also remember that you're in a different environment now, and it will have its own language. Start to pick up what the different parts of the language are, because that's a real important part. I've had the blessing to work in investment banking, which had its own type of vernacular. And then I was in education here with Jacksonville University, and each one of them has their different types of acronyms. We think in the military, we have all the acronyms. We don't. Businesses have that. You just need to get used to that. You're unique. And then sometimes you will become a curiosity in your company, depending on how many veterans they have. Use that uniqueness to your advantage. You're there not only to work at the company, but you're also representing each one of us in your company. And remember, that's important. You can leverage that. Don't let your insecurities hold you back. Some of these statements people adopt, but really they're missed, and they're really not relevant at all. My military career was the last great thing I will ever do. That's just not true. Now, you can use that as a foundation for what you want to do to move forward, but it's not the last great thing you will do. In fact, if you go in with the attitude that the military was the last important great thing I can do, and I just have to work to get some money, then you're not going to be successful in your company. You have to have the same passion you have in the military for whatever that company's mission is. As I said before, don't look to see and expect to be hired just because you're a veteran. That gives you a way ahead, because you have a unique experience and you have a maturity, because each one of you has done jobs that in the civilian world normally would be something that somebody be in their 40s or later doing. We have all kind of different jobs. Each one of you have had a job in the military that you did successfully, and you can leverage that. The other thing is, dream big. What have you always wanted to do? Think about what you've always wanted to do. Every job that I've had after post-military, I did not even know existed until I started working to try to get those jobs. None of them did I get through answering an online ad or going through any Monster, any one of those. It all was because people knew me and knew I was looking for a job, and they helped me. So the social networking that you do is really important. It's more difficult right now simply because of COVID, because you can't go to mixers and things, but you can make those kind of connections. And the other piece is you have a lot of different ways that you can stay connected. Obviously, the Operation New Uniform, as great as it is what they've given you to this point, I think their most important role, in fact, is keeping you connected to each other and then coming back, because Michelle and her team want to enjoy you with your triumphs, but also with your struggles and how can help. We have some organizations here in town that can help you. We have the Jacksonville Military Veterans Coalition. Almost 500 companies are part of that. They want to hire military veterans, military families. We also have the Northeast Florida Military Veteran College Network. If going back to school is something you want to do, we have those. And those are just two of the many different organizations that are there for you and will help you to try to be success in life. But let me talk frankly about your transition challenge. You've left an organization in the military in which success and standards are relatively well defined to enter a civilian world in which success is measured in many ways, and the standards vary from company to company. When you're looking at this, your life is not necessarily going to be a direct path to success. You may have some successes, fallbacks, all maybe even the same day. So sometimes you may need help along the way. Never get caught up in the myth that if you ask for help, you'll look stupid, professional, or worse. You and your classmates share a bond that cannot be broken. And as I said, Michelle and her team are here for you, but there are a lot of other ways that you can be helped. Recognize that for you and your family, your mental health is just as important as your physical health. Be brave enough that if you and or your family need help from the mental health side, that you seek it. I work for the Stephen A. Cohen Military Family Clinic at Centerstone here in Jacksonville, and we have professional counselors specializing in serving veterans and military families, and we're ready to serve you. The challenge in the military is from the first day we go to any kind of basic training, we're taught, they tear us down, but then they build us back up that we're supermen and superwomen, and our job is to get the objective done, which is great. But what we have to recognize is when we need help, we need to seek it. Because if you broke your leg, you wouldn't say, I'm going to tough this out and I'll just let it heal. You go to the doctor. If you're not feeling right, if you see one of your colleagues, one of your coworkers, and this cohort should be mutually self-supporting, help them go. And like I said, our clinic, the Cohen Clinic here, the VA does a great job, many organizations. If you need help, you owe it yourself and family to seek it. Now, where do you go from here? The book of your life has only partially been written, and you're now writing a new chapter. I'm going to leave you with my favorite quote, the words of Teddy Roosevelt that speaks to the person of action, that individual willing to give completely of themselves to a cause. He said, it's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbled or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man, in this case, and women who are actually in the arena, whose face is marred by blood, dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes short again and again, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotion, and spends himself in a worthy cause, who at least knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who, at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while doing greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. Each one of you has been in the military, and you chose to be a man or woman in the arena. There's a tombstone at Arlington National Cemetery reads, it's better one day as a lion than 1,000 as a lamb. Be bold, and if your life embodies character, integrity, and moral courage, you'll be successful in your work and personal life. All the best to each of you.
Oops, now you see. Oh, there you go. So thank you so much, General Fleming. We appreciate those words of wisdom. We appreciate all that you do for ONU, and thank you so much. We feel so blessed and honored that you're part of Operation Uniform, whether you know it or not, even though you don't serve on our board, even though you're not here all the time. You have truly been such an amazing support system for us, for me. Thank you. I hope everybody got a chance to notice the picture that was up there of General Fleming. And did you notice all the bling on his on his jacket or on his uniform? I find that very interesting because from my perspective and what I get to do for ONU and how this all got started was because I am not a veteran and I don't have the family of veterans like most of you in this room do, or those of you that are watching. This was really birthed from an idea for my husband and I to be able to give back to our local community. And it's important that you know that this training is provided to all of our veterans that are eligible to come through our program, but it's provided from a perspective of the Sandler training system, which is a business owner's perspective of how we would want to see someone come into an interview and thrive within our organization, but also a military person's perspective. And we are blessed to have someone who has helped me train this entire group, class 35 and 36. She is little and mighty. She has served in the military, and I'm going to read her bio, but just so you all know out there who are watching, and for those of you in this room, Kim has been a personal friend from almost the beginning of this organization, and she has given her heart and soul. She is now the board chair of Operation Uniform, and if there's anybody that puts the time in and the energy in, it's this woman. So I am so grateful to have her as a friend. I'm grateful that we get to use her in this way that she's been able to train. So she gets to do the next part of the program, which is introduce all of you wonderful, amazing people in this room. But first, let me tell you a little bit about her because she's quite impressive. And this only covers a little bit. And some of you may know her as Dr. Kim Bynum. And Dr. Bynum is a former professor of leadership management and economics. She is a teacher at Jacksonville University, Christian Brothers University, and DeVry Keller School of Management. She holds degrees in electronical engineer business administration and management, and wrote her PhD dissertation on motivational behavior. Kim is a retired naval officer who served our country for 21 years. Beside her role on the ONU board chair, Kim serves ONU Veterans as one of our program trainers, as you all know. She is a key component in working with our in-house team to help these veterans with their transitional needs. Please don't let her small size fool you. Kim has been known to kick butt and take names. She's also known to most of you in a loving, endearing way as the boot. So please help me welcome Dr. Kim Bynum.
All right, thank you for that great introduction. Check out my picture. Man, they can work some magic, can't they? Woo, I love it. Well, Michelle already covered a little bit about me and who I am, but I do want to share for a hot minute about why I'm so passionate about pouring in the talents and gifts that God's given me back into Operation Uniform. And it's really simple. It's just a desire to serve. And it stems from my transition experience and what I went through in 2013. And when I found out about Operation Uniform and learned how it changes lives, I wanted to be a part. And so Michelle's been kind enough to allow me to volunteer, serve on the board. This is the first time I've actually trained the entire 3-week time. Normally I just come in on the first day and scare you a little bit, and then come and do graduation when you're all fixed up. And so it's just been a real privilege and pleasure to be a part of Operation Uniform almost since day one. So I do, as board chair, want to give a shout out to the other ONU board members. And so you know who they are by name, and thank them for their service as well, because we are a working board. We don't get to just put our name on the paper. Michelle doesn't allow that. Once you sign up, you get put to work. And just a little plug that if you're interested in supporting Operation Uniform as a board member and you're willing to put your time, money, and resources where your mouth is, then please get in touch with us about that. But let me acknowledge the other board members, and I'm not going to probably get all the last names right. So Bruce Bagney, he's retired legal counsel for Florida Blue. Lou Capoldi from Swisher Cigar Company. Melissa Ciricelli from Black Knight Financial. Lisa Gillespie from Berkshire Hathaway Realty. Ryan Hollister from the Haskell Company. Ralph Kozlarek, that's probably one that I got close. He's from First Command Financial. Lee Mills, thank you for being here with us in person. I love you. From One Digital Health and Benefits. Kevin Bropes from HCI. And Tom Quinn, owner of Leaders, Inc. So thank you, board members. Some are here in attendance and some are virtual, but we couldn't do it without your leadership and guidance. And I'm very proud to be the chair. It's very rewarding to me. So as you can see from everybody out there that's participating, you can see all the participants and our board and our support. We've got a great group of individuals who are passionate about Operation Uniform and our veterans. So thank you guys all for being here, and thank you board members for your support. We're so proud of the work that the Operation Uniform staff and support does to advance, empower, and equip our veterans with the skills to succeed in business. We all share one main characteristic, one main goal. We're all committed to providing impactful and positive change to the men and women who become a part of the ONU family by going through this training. With today's graduation, Operation Uniform will have served a total of 298 veterans. 298, you guys. Effectively changing not only the lives of those 298, but also the lives of their family and friends. So I'm super honored. I always get the fun part of getting to introduce the veterans and the ONU class of 35 and 36. So get ready. We're going in alphabetical order. Pete, get yourself geared up. I'm going to introduce you, and then I'll ask you to come up. All right. Excellent. So let me talk to you about Pete Abramovs. He is, and by the way, as these folks are being introduced and are telling a little bit about their ONU experience, if you're out there in computer world, you're going to be able to see a link to their resume. So please, I know we've got HR folks out there and folks that are looking to help us place these amazing veterans. So be sure to click on that link if you'd like to know more. So it'll be there in the chat window. Okay, ready? Ready, Pete? Okay. Let's see. Pete served 11 years in the U.S. Marine Corps as an AVH Bravo Harrier pilot. He has a BS in Aviation Management from the Florida Institute of Technology, and he is seeking a career in operations or project management. Please help me welcome the first one, Pete, up here.
Thanks,
Kim. It's always nice to be the first. I really just want to thank Michelle for what she's done here. I found out about Operation Uniform through complete happenstance, and I'm extremely grateful that I did. But going forward, I'm going to make it my mission to make sure that everybody I know knows about it, because once we leave the military, everyone goes through a transition program, but it's okay for what it is, but it's not what we received here. And as far as I'm concerned, it should be the gold standard for something that should be replicated, throughout the country, that every service member should be able to receive. Everything we've learned from Kim and Michelle, we've done some great things in the military. We've had a lot of roles, but moving forward, we don't keep our identity in the military. Our identity carries forward. We just change roles, and that's something that's really important to learn. That took me a little while to realize as well. But they do a great job of teaching us the understanding of that, and why it's so important, and how to market ourselves going forward, and really just show people what we have done and what we can do. So I'm super grateful to have found about this program, and hope you all do the same as I do, and really share Operation Uniform with everyone who may be getting out of the military could really use this. So, thanks.
Pete, you did a great job. That was great for going first too. That's always the hard part. It's got to kind of break the ice, and now you guys are like, "Whoo, I can do this. I can do this." All right. So our next veteran is actually zooming in, so he's going to be virtual. His name is Christopher Brown. Chris served 20 years in the U.S. Navy as an HR generalist and an aviation machinist mate. He has a BS in Human Resources Management from the University of Maryland. He's now pursuing his EMBA from Jacksonville University. Go Fins. And he is seeking a career in human resources leadership development. So I'll turn it over to Chris.
Oh, thank you for the warm introduction. I'm sorry I can't be with you guys today, but I'm here virtually, and ONU wasn't on my mind, when I first got out of the military. Haven't heard of it. Went through quite a tough time between different employers, trying to basically find the transition. And I came upon ONU through Jamie Robinson at Wounded Warriors. He introduced me to the program, and I think every veteran should come through this program, because we get focused on completing the mission in the military, but we don't really think about how to present ourselves as, candidates for a job. We just come in and basically do what we do. ONU teaches you how to communicate your skills and abilities to the employer in a way that they would understand, and I really appreciate it. I couldn't preach no more than I can on the program. Like, it's perfect. I'm telling every veteran that I know to come through this program, because it will help you. It helps you build a network. It gives you a safety net, and that's important. And thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Awesome. Excellent. So moving right along to the next person, and he's nodding so he knows. Next up is Emilian Davis. Emilian served 6 years in the U.S. Navy as a fire controlman, and he has a BBA in international business from Florida International University, and he is seeking a career in management consulting or banking operations. Come on up, Emilian.
Thank you all very much. Yes, I appreciate the invitation. I was introduced to Operation Uniform by another prior member, David Trenholm. I knew nothing. Honestly, I knew nothing about this. Oh, by the way, I will try to be. But I will be brief. But I knew nothing of this. I've been through several different networking programs, how to actually go through jobs. And of course, I got in 2005, where TAP class was effectively sign up. Make sure you register with the VA, and Lowe's is hiring. So the biggest thing about, honestly, the biggest takeaway I get from this opportunity was separating who I was from what I do, my identity versus my role. Because when I left the military, it was for shrinking the force. So my role as a fire controlman, taken away. I identified myself with my jobs every single place that I went. And, you know, you get laid off, some places close. And in time, as I was getting, as I didn't know what I was doing and I was getting rejected from one position to another, it was really taking a toll on my particular mental health. And of course, as General Fleming was mentioning beforehand, I was one of those individuals that didn't know how to ask for help. But it wasn't anything clinical. I did speak with enough people. I did manage to muster my way through, but these were lessons that I had to learn. And just the fact of the matter that I'm getting to that phase of being able to separate those two, it's actually helping me. Honestly, it's helping me out immensely. So if nothing else, the tactics, the techniques, those are all great. And they've already started taking me far, but that one is effectively life-changing. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Amelia. And it's always a treat to be able to watch, and I say this every graduation, just to come in on day one and to meet everybody and talk with everybody and get to know them, and then to watch this transformation. Everybody gets something, but to watch this transformation from day one to graduation and to see that light bulb go off when Michelle teaches the identity versus role, the IR theory, is just, it's such a powerful thing. So thank you for sharing that, Amelia, and being vulnerable enough to let us know. That's so powerful. Thank you. So don't forget about the links. The links are in the chat for all the resumes for you guys out there, all of our hiring managers. All right, so here we go. Next up is Rashawn Ferguson, AKA Fergie. I won't say Fergalicious, but okay, I said it. So Fergie served 11 years in the Navy as an electrician's mate. She's currently working towards her BS in energy management from Bismarck State College, and she's seeking a career in program management, client relations, or training and development. You're in for a treat, guys. Come on up, Fergie.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Fergie. Hi, Fergie. So when I walked through that door a few weeks ago, I was unsure of myself. My identity was actually attached to being an electrician's mate, being an LPO, leading petty officer, leading the troops and all that good stuff. And I said, wow, what can I do outside of the military? Because I really didn't want to work in electrical work. I was like, okay, I have some strength, speaking and public relations and things of that nature. And Kim and Michelle really helped me develop my confidence. And Kim, more particularly, she was like, throw out that head trash. Whatever you're thinking, let it go, And I know Operation New Uniform stands for that. You see ONU, but for me, it took on a totally different meaning. So O stands for original. They've taught me to be myself, to be me. Don't be a replica, be authentic. And everyone in this program has been that, original. N stands for noble. Everyone that's walked through that door to enlighten us or share some things with us have been noble. They represent great principles and just their ability to reach out and want to help us along the way. And then U stands for unyielding. We've been taught, hey, go out there and get whatever it is you want. Don't take no for an answer. Don't give way to pressure. Be unyielding in your approach to go after whatever it is you want, because we all have trials and tribulations. I've always, my thing with Michelle was, still working on a degree and not having that solidified before going into the career. I allowed that to be my head trash. So I'm going to be unyielding always. I'm going to keep pushing forward. So when I think of ONU, I think of be original, be noble, and be unyielding. thank you, ONU, for having me. I'm so forever grateful. Thank you.
I feel like we just unleashed the beast, right? She's unstoppable, unyielding. Love it. Thank you for that, Fergie. Did you guys know that for our operational uniform veterans for class 35 and 36, and every one of those 298 that have gone through this program, it costs nothing for our veterans. They go through for free. They get this life-changing training for free. We don't get, at Operational Uniform, we don't get government funding. We are solely reliant on the support and the generosity of you guys out there listening to this. And so we want to just remind you and thank you for those of you that are on. Most of you have already, given your time, your talents, and your resources. And I just encourage you to please continue your support. You can see the change that it's making in our veterans' lives. If you haven't yet found a way to support ONU, I would encourage you to go to onuvets.org, and I'm sure we'll put that in the chat link as well for you to click on. Thank you guys so much for your support. We couldn't do it without you out there, and you can see the change and the impact that you're having, so thank you. All right, up next. Our next veteran is Kimberly Glover. Kim served 20 years in the U.S. Navy as an information systems technician. She has an MBA in business administration from Nova Southeastern University and a Bachelor's of Science degree in psychology from the University of Maryland. Kim is seeking a career in either recruiting or in social services. So Kim, come on up and tell us about you.
Hey, as Kim said, thank you very much, Kim. My name is Kim, and I retired from the military in 2004. I'm gonna take y'all back to 2004 because when I retired from Bahrain. And I'm telling you, it was very stressful. I wasn't prepared. I went through this thing called TAP in the military, and I was not prepared. My resume wasn't prepared, and I wasn't prepared. So it took me exactly 1 year and 6 months to find a job. And during that time, I was depressed, I was sad, every emotion that you can imagine, I felt. And the reason why I brought that up is because ONU is a game changer, is life-changing, is a career changer, and I highly recommend if you are military, if you're underemployed, unemployed, you're in a job and looking for a career, that you need to be in this program. And I challenge everyone out here that's listening, who do you know that can get this program on each and every military installation? And that's all I have to say.
There you go. Now you know. And we appreciate that. We really do, Kim. Your passion in getting the word out. And I do want to follow up with that. Okay, if we have veterans out there that are watching this, all you got to do, guys, is go to that website, onuvets.org, read up about Operation New Uniform to see if it might be a good fit for you. And then put in an application, and then we'll decide together whether we're a mutual fit for you to go through this program. But I highly encourage veterans out there, if we can't help you, we will find somebody that can. So please reach out and contact us at that link, or get a hold of one of these alum that you know. Whatever it takes, we'll find a way to help you out. Thank you, Kim. That's powerful. All right, our next veteran is Linda Hilton. Linda served 13 years in the U.S. Navy as an administrative officer. She has a bachelor's degree in business management and an MBA and a doctorate of management with a focus in organizational leadership. Sounds a lot like me. From the University of Phoenix. We've been like this since day one, haven't we, girl? So Linda is seeking a career as either a research analyst or training and development officer. So Linda, come on up. I can't wait to hear from you.
Good morning, everyone. I came across ONU when I was looking for some veterans resources, and I was really digging down deep, and I saw it and I clicked on it, and I'm like, I've never heard of this program before. I've heard of a lot of resources, TAP stuff, and everything else, but I'd never heard of this. So I put it in my browser, I clicked on it, I started reading, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. this might be something I might want to do. Let me see. So I wrote up an email and everything, and I sent it off. And probably about 4 or 5 days later, Sharita called me, and she sent me an email, and she was blasting me. And I was in the mall, and I was like, "Who is this lady? She is so hype. She is hyper." Next thing I know, I was signing up. Next thing I know, I was talking to her on the phone again. Next thing I know, I was walking in here in the class, and I was looking at these ladies right here. What I didn't know was that I really needed this class. And I didn't know that I needed it as much as I did. And to let you know, I'd already been offered a position at a marketing firm downtown. And I went on 2 interviews. And at the end of the second interview, I turned it down because it wasn't what I thought it was. And I'm glad I came to this class because it basically put the focus on what I really wanted to do as a career, not just a job. And that's what ONU does for anyone who attends this course, is that it really puts the focus on a career, not just a job. I can get a job. I've been offered plenty of jobs since I've been retired. It says 13 years, that's as an officer, but I have 14 years as an enlisted sailor. And I've led many divisions. I've taken people to war and I brought them back. I've had plenty of experience leading people. I know I can go out there and do the same thing in an organization. And I have lots of experience, just like we all do. We have lots of experience. We are humble enough to come here and say that we know we need something a little bit extra. And that's why we're here. And that's what ONU does for you. And that's what these ladies have done for us and anyone else that came in here and helped us. It gives you that extra confidence. That little bit extra would give you so far. I'm already going on interviews right now, and I'm hoping it leads to that one position that I really, really want to do. It's not that I need a job. I want to actually have that passion about that job that I get up for every day. That's just a blessing. Because I don't need to work, but I want that. I want that special feeling about me actually continuing to contribute to society, to my community, just like I did for 27 years. That's what I want to do. So I want to thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Linda, for that. That is so powerful. One of the things that I've seen in all of the classes, we're up to 35, 36, right? And so what I've seen is that our veterans come in and they're either kind of pretty confident because we have done a lot of stuff and we do have a lot of experience. So they're up here in the confidence, like, oh, I got this. I'm not sure if I need to be here or not. Okay. And then on the other end of the spectrum, just really feeling lost, not having confidence, not really, and being very unsure and uncertain. And you kind of get the feel for that even just in this group. But to see somebody start getting the light bulb and be like, you know what, I can be even better. I can do even better. I can learn more. That's a powerful thing and makes a great statement. And that's what our ONU alum bring to your organization, guys. We've got great skills and experience. They know what to do and they can get the job done, but they've also got that humbleness and that willingness to serve. So Linda, thank you for embodying that with your comments. That was just really cool. Thank you. Okay. I don't think I'm supposed to be ad-libbing, but I just throw it in there. That one was for free. All right. Let's see, where am I at? Okay, Linda, don't forget Linda's resume is out there in the chat window. Guys, she's looking for a place to really contribute and serve. You guys can see if you're a good fit for her. Next up is Rodney Joseph. Rod served 14 years in the Army as a paralegal non-commissioned officer and as an ordnance officer. He has a BS in criminal justice from Ashford University and a master's in diplomacy and military studies from Hawaii Pacific University. Rod is seeking a career in the defense and security sector. Rod, come on up.
Thank you to Michelle. Thank you to Miss Kim. Thank you to everybody that's been in the class together, because as we build a bonding relationship in the last 3 weeks, like I feel like I've known all of you together, is the mentality of collectivities that we share as a veteran. One thing I will mention, as a veteran, also, I'm come from Haiti. I want to highlight it. This is, I come from Haiti, not that far from here. from Miami, and grew up in Haiti. Coming to the United States. My uncle brought me here, and as soon as I came in, I start working and stuff. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I need to join the military. And people say, I mean, you crazy? You're going to war? It's a bad time to join the military. That was the best decision I ever taken in my life. I came to the military with zero college, zero. And I left the military with a master's. I got 5 degrees and I'm working toward my law degrees and focus on my PhDs in strategic studies. What I want you, somebody that look at me right now, if you need any motivations, this is how motivation look like. Because I come here with no guidance, no parents. I was young and I could have been falling to a different crowds. And I stay focused, stay humble. And always, I want to say thanks to now Lieutenant Colonel Gaston Jimmy. That's the first guy that took me to register for my first class in Korea. I'm so grateful for that. And also Sergeant Major Ventura, David Ventura, that walked me through to show me, teach me how to be a leader with the confidence that he instilled on me. That wouldn't be this guy today focused as I am without those two gentlemen. I just want to let the world know that you can be ungrateful for whoever helped you put the first stone. For whoever else look at me, listen to me, you struggle right now. Do not let anyone's perception become your reality. Because people will always tell you you can't. Nobody succeed. It's so hard to do. I want you to get up, pull off your pants, give it a try. Because the limit is what you set for yourself, not what other people set for you. Thank you.
Awesome, Rod. I thought I was at church for a minute. Now I don't have to have a goal. I listen to a podcast every day to help me feel good about myself. Rod just motivated me. I love that. Thank you. Awesome. What a great spirit. What great energy he brought to our class. Let's see. Oh, okay, cool. So next, and make sure you're talking in this microphone so the people out there can hear you, okay? So next is James Leandro. James served 23 years in the Marine Corps as a Force Reconnaissance Marine. He is completing his MIA, and that's not missing in action. That's Masters in International Affairs from the School of International and Public Affairs. His estimated graduation date is fall of 2020, so he's just about done. And he also holds a BA in Political Science, Latin American Studies from Columbia University in the city of New York. He, James, is seeking a career in operations management and development. Come on up, James.
First of all, I'd like to thank Ty Dixon from the Wounded Warrior Foundations who recommended this organization. Not really knowing where I was going to go next. She kind of suggested maybe you should take a look at Operation New Uniform. And what Operation New Uniform has done for me is it's really helped me effectively communicate. I've done a few things that I'm very proud of, but how to connect and how to really effectively communicate with the struggles that the organizations, like a lot of organizations that you guys represent, are having. So I'd really like to thank Michelle and Kim for opening my eyes, helping me take an internal look, and really help me push myself forward. I'd also like to thank our classmates from ONU, class 35 and 36, for the camaraderie we've had. And as we've had our little struggles within our class as Kim's beating us up.
She was sweet.
the support network that we've all had. So thank you, Michelle. Again, thank you, Kim. Thank you for everything you guys have done.
It's been really cool to watch these two classes kind of gel. And James, it's been fun to watch you. We do DISC personality styles, and his personality is typically to stay a little bit quiet until you ask him and you draw him out. So to see him come up here and just really articulate what you're feeling, what you're thinking, that I feel that confidence in you. And it's been so amazing to watch that journey over the last 3 weeks. So thank you, James, for those words. Next, we have Joe Lahosky. Oh my gosh, he's a limited duty officer, LDO, guys, so just get ready. He served over 20 years in the Navy as, oh, look, it says it, limited duty officer. I am just, I need help. So seriously though, he has a BS in Workforce Education and Development from Southern Illinois University. And Joe is seeking a career in financial management, human resources, or training and development. His resume is there in the link, you guys. Come on up, Joe. This is going to be fun.
Okay, first of all, let me go ahead and put this out here. I'm the I, so I will not be quiet and reserved as far as my disc profile. Thanks, Kim, for that introduction. Thank you, Michelle. Shout out to Sharita. I actually appreciated the energy on the phone to get me involved in this. Met Jake at the golf tournament before it got shut down. He talked to me about ONU, and God has always put me in the right place at the right time. Everything, my wife keeps telling me everything happens for a reason, and there are reasons why I took this time to get out of the military, and there's reasons why I'm here. I did my life a little backwards. I started out in the regular workforce, the non-military workforce, and I did that for several years as a manager, and then I wanted to change. And then I came into the Navy and became a fire controlman as well, and then promoted up to limited duty officer. I think of President Kennedy and what he said in 1963. When asked to the graduate, he said in Annapolis, Maryland, when asked what I did with my life to make it worthwhile, I can say I proudly served this country's United States Navy. Separating that and how that means here to me today is I've always taken that role, that camaraderie, that bond, and I always had a saying in the Navy. I said, what makes the Navy special is we are bound by common misery. Whether and I'm getting chuckles out of the crowd, so that's good. They understand this. Whether you are the lowest pay grade and you're up in the middle of the night doing whatever in the cold, in the rain, standing that watch, there is somebody senior to you that is right there by your side. And there is an entire group that's out there that's lacking sleep and doing that. And that binds us and that makes us the team. Now, with that role that I had in the Navy was tough for me to focus as an individual. What ONU has taught me is how I can shed that role and be that 10 as an individual. They used a great example of a $10 bill. Even if they crumple it up, it is still a $10 bill. Thank you, Alexander Hamilton. But no, I just wanted to say that this has been a very special class. Learning transactional analysis theory has been the biggest thing for me to be the adult in the room. That is one of the things that I want to read up more on. And if you are interested in me, please click the link below. I'm just going to beat Kim to the punch because somebody's got to say it. So, no, I really do appreciate that. I would love to talk to some people out there. I am looking for a career that I can find self-satisfaction in. A lot like Linda, I'm not somebody that has to work, but I want to work in something that I find true fulfillment, and that is the next chapter of my life. I love all of you here, my classmates. I have appreciated the time that we have gotten to spend together. Keep in touch.
Awesome. Joe, good job keeping it, we worked on brevity. Joe did it. I'm so proud of him. He's always good for entertainment and a laugh, too. Oh my gosh, you're not going to believe this. This is what my notes say. We're posting all the resumes in the chat. But seriously, you better snatch them up before somebody else does. Our veterans never last long out there as they're interviewing for their careers. So last but not least, bringing us home, she's been patient back there. We have Lisette Rivera. Lisette served 10 years in the Navy as an information systems security officer. She has a BA in psychology from St. Leo University, and she is seeking a career in technology management or IT system security. Lisette, bring us home, girl.
Good morning, everyone. So I first heard about ONU at O2O, which is another veteran transition program. And of course, we've all gone through TGPS too as well. So there's several different types of transition programs out there for us. When I came here because I was looking for direction. I felt a little bit lost. And as a C, I need all the information and resources possible in order to be properly ready for what comes next. When I came here, what I realized was that this was a lot more than a transition program. It was a holistic approach to getting us ready to get out there and find our new careers. ONU, the team here, Michelle and Kim, the dedication and the motivation that you guys give us is unsurmountable. Thank you so much. I have learned so much: communication skills, self-concept, self-esteem, self-worth. I honestly feel that I have the tools to move forward and looking for that next career. And most importantly, what ONU has given me is a new tribe and a new support system. And a new family that I know that I can depend on and come to for help and guidance when I need it. And so from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for the opportunity you guys gave me.
And I'm gonna try not to cry. Okay, Michelle and I are always like, we're gonna get through this one without a tear. And I almost did it. Okay, so you guys have heard from the Operation Uniform graduates today a little bit about how Operation Uniform has changed and impacted their lives. And so I just want to really, Lisette summed it up perfectly, so I don't need to spend a lot of time on it. But the difference between day one of training and this graduation day for all of you, what ONU tries to do, what we strive to do, how we measure our success is through that holistic approach. And I think that, Lisette, I appreciate you that you said that and that you're telling our folks out there, because like you said, there are a lot of transition programs out there. There's a lot of different services, VSOs, veteran service organizations. So one of the things that Operation Uniform really strives to do is to look at the individual holistically, mind, body, soul, and all of that, not just about that professional persona, but getting through in the headspace and getting them to the right attitude and the right beliefs so that they can implement those techniques out there successfully and contribute to the workforce. So thank you, Lisette, for those words and for allowing me the opportunity to sort of reiterate a little bit about what we're trying to do at Operation Uniform to differentiate ourselves and what's important to us. It's the career is the icing on the cake. How much you get paid, we always do better than the average, according to Bureau of Labor Statistics, but that's really not it for me. That was for Lisette. But that's not what's it. What it's about at Operation Uniform, from our board members to our supporters to Michelle, it's about you guys as human beings. And we want you to feel whole and be whole. And thank you for sharing how we got to do that in our small way and allow us to serve you. And we will continue to do that. Operation Uniform, and as we mentioned, you're stuck with us for life. Okay? So I encourage each of you to commit to partner with Operation Uniform in one way, shape, or another. Time, money, resources, talent, skills. We'll take whatever we can get. But before we move on to the final portion of today's graduation, I want to welcome back Michelle McManaman, the Executive Director of Operation Uniform, the visionary, the one who made all this happen, the co-founder of the program. She was birthed through a vision from God way back in 2014. I can't believe it's been 6 years. Michelle and her team have worked tirelessly to bring you what you see here today in the midst of COVID with the technology, and I couldn't be more proud of what you guys have done. But let Michelle come on up and give us some remarks.
Thank you, Kim. So I hear you guys say Michelle a lot, and that's not the right thing to do. This organization is not about me, and it's not about Kim. It is so much more than anything that we could ever take credit for. Anybody who stood up here today knows that this organization really has been a blessing from God. And Kim mentioned that, but I really want to press on that fact that we take no credit. All the glory and all the praise goes to the one who deserves it, and that's our Lord and Savior. So thank you for mentioning my name, for the little things that I get to do, and that's just be his hands and feet. So I appreciate that very much. I get to say thank you to our team, but I'm going to officially do that in a minute. One thing we really love to do is honor every student that comes to the program, but we do give out 2 awards, and I don't know if you guys all knew that, but there are 2 awards that we get to give out, and we're excited to present them to 2 people. We wanted to give them to everyone, but you know how that is. Everyone gets a trophy. So in your case, you all get a certificate and a pin, and 2 people get awards. So the first award is what we call the I-10 award, right? Everybody knows it as a shooting star. If everybody out there could see, they were all doing the same thing. Our shooting stars for our alumni that are on this video Zoom, you would know, and everybody else, it just means what an amazing accomplishment to be able to separate. The Sandler system teaches us to separate our identity from our roles. We get no credit for all that Kim and I teach. 99.9% of what we teach comes from Sandler training. And we've been blessed and honored to be able to get all of that curriculum that is created. Dave Mattson in Baltimore, Maryland, who has created this system, and David Sandler from years before, we get that all donated for our veterans. They don't pay a dime for the material, and since it's copywritten, they get to keep it. It's theirs, and it's part of their world. So when you hear things like IR and identity versus role, that's all stuff that they learned from the Sandler system, and we're proud to be able to give that to them. But this award, the I-10 award, is our shooting star. It recognizes the ONU veteran who maintained an exemplary attitude throughout the program, sets a positive example for fellow ONU veterans, and embodied the mission and purpose of Operation New Uniform as selected by the ONU team, which was very difficult to do because, as you heard, everyone deserves it. But the recipient of Class 35 and 36 I-10 award is Rashawn Ferguson. Come on up, Fergie.
I'm gonna do my wave.
And your trophy. With the look of
Thank you so much for this award. I really don't know what to say right, but this definitely is a blessing from God. Like, this whole program has really elevated me beyond where I could never imagine where I would be right now. The biggest thing for me is when I walked in here, the energy and just the vibe. I believe Michelle had like a halo like overhead when yes, like it's unbelievable. And you know what? There's so many installation across the world. Like this is it's priceless. So thank you all for selecting me for this award. I'm so grateful. I love you all.
He is adorable. Okay, so the next award is to be presented for the Success Award. And this honors the ONU veteran who has shown exceptional growth and professional development by successfully utilizing the newly learned Sandler and ONU behaviors, attitudes, and techniques. As selected by the ONU team, the recipient of Class 35 and 36 award is Joe Lahosky.
I was really looking around the room because I thought there was 3 or 4 more people that really deserved this more than me. But no, I'm honored. Thank you very much. And unusually I'm speechless. So, but no, thank you for this wonderful award and privilege. You know, I have a nice office at home where I put out all my nice little memorabilia because I always like to look back on it and reflect. And this definitely makes the list of the eye candy that goes into my little space, my little solitude area there. And like I said, I cannot say enough about this program. I think it's been fantastic. The things that I have learned here definitely prepared me for the next chapter of my life. Thank you.
He's still laughing. That's so funny. Okay. Okay, before we get to the final portion of today's graduation, I'd like to take a moment really to introduce our ONU team. And if we could put the slide up. As you can see, Jake Wilson, he's our Director of Veteran Transition. Christine Jones is our volunteer support team lead. Maddie Goldstein is our office manager and does so much more. And Ashley Dunham is our newest person on our team. She's the marketing coordinator. So all that stuff you see on social media, she is just like knocking it out of the ballpark, nothing like we've ever seen before. There is a slide that's not up there, but Sharita Jacobs, who's been mentioned many times, is an amazing young woman who has worked with us for a little over a year, and she did a fantastic job of recruiting every one of you into this program. I want to just thank her publicly for being such a great part of this team. She has gone on to some bigger things, and we just wish you all of God's speed, all of God's blessings in your new career, Sharita. We hope that you will come back and visit us often and continue to be such a light to others to tell them about ONU. So thank you for that. I want to take just a short, brief moment and show you all a video about ONU, and then we're going to wrap it up. So please watch this video out there, and we'll watch it in here.
I was in the Navy for 22 years. In the Navy, you build a family. While you move a lot, everywhere you move, the family is there with you. It just happens to be a different looking family every place you go.
The military allows you to take responsibility, actions, and do things you've never done before.
I joined as an enlisted service member. I was a cryptological technical maintenance person.
I served for 24 years, and I was an aviation structural mechanic.
Served aboard a submarine for 15 years. Served in combat over in Iraq and Afghanistan. Also served in Japan. Saw countries I never thought I'd see.
You always have a job there. As you move around, there's always, they have something for you to do. You don't have to worry about looking to find work. It just continues on.
It tells you what to do, where to live, and where to go. You don't have that when you exit the military and go into corporate America.
I was fortunate enough to earn my undergrad in electrical engineering, and I had an MBA that I earned while I was in the Navy. My expectation was that I would get out of the Navy and that I would just, everybody would want to hire me, and I'd have no problem at all.
When you get out, that pathway goes away. That camaraderie goes away. That friendship and network goes away. And you're thrown into a community where they tell you not to talk like you just have. And trying to fit into the new world and make yourself marketable is very frustrating and stressful.
The Navy decided, hey, your time is up, so now start looking for the future. That hit me really hard because my wife knows that my role, my identity has been the Navy. It's been an officer, it's been a leader, it's been a mentor. And she watched me go through a small bout of depression.
I had skills, like a myriad of different skills when I left the service. But it felt like I was lost at sea.
Imagine if you were dropped in Japan and you had to provide for your family, you had to get a career, and you had to adjust and not being able to speak the language. That's what I went through when I left the military and joined corporate America. It's like being isolated alone with not having the support you're used to.
Figuring out how to make that transition from the job that you did in the military to not feels like an impossible task at times.
So
Operation New Uniform got started really just from wanting to give back. My husband and I had a company called Sandler Training, and we wanted to scholar a veteran through our program. We were thinking that one veteran would want to come through and that we would teach them how to sell themselves to potential business owners so they can get a career out in the business community. Well, that one veteran turned into 272 veterans to date.
Operation New Uniform is a program that has the ability to take a veteran that comes in the door with their confidence down, their identity lost, and truly what we hear over and over again at the graduations and beyond is that their lives have been transformed.
They come, many of those veterans, to Operation New Uniform looking for support, for guidance, for direction. And that's what our team does, and frankly does really well.
The success, over 90% placement. You can't find another program in America that does more than that.
ONU is really tops in shaping our warriors and giving them that 3-week deep dive into how to connect, how do you express yourself in corporate America, how do you network, what's your messaging?
I had the opportunity to become acquainted with Operation New Uniform, was astounded at the difference that ONU graduates brought in the way that they could articulate their skills. Their resumes were better.
Our veterans are leaving the military, some of them at very young ages still, and they have so much more to offer, and ONU helps them to gain that confidence back and to put themselves out there and market themselves into a new career.
One particular gentleman looked at me. He goes, once we take off these uniforms, he said, people don't treat us the same. And that was a big light bulb for me. It was one of those moments when I knew that there was something going on here much deeper than I could ever understand. We had to help our veterans take that uniform off that they had served in, that's so important to them, and teach them how to get into a new uniform, which is a business suit. Each one of them is a shooting star because they can do anything they put their mind to. We are planning on growing, we're expanding, and we're so excited about it. We have 3 cities that we're looking to expand to in 3 years. So we have some great goals, but we need your help. Our dream is to go nationwide, to be able to offer this incredible program to veterans everywhere.
Thank you for those of you that are watching remotely. Thank you for taking this few minutes. And for the team here, that was played in December. As you can tell, the numbers have changed quite a bit since then, and we're excited for the amount of veterans that we've been able to serve up to date. So as we wrap up this amazing day, this last couple of hour and a half that we've been together, I'd like to acknowledge a few of people that make this possible beside our team here. We have some past team members that have been amazing, that have done so much for our team, and I don't get to recognize them or didn't get to. Lori Mason, I hope she's listening on here, was an amazing team member. You got to see her on the video, and she did a great deal. COVID has made some changes in our organization. We've had to make a lot of changes, and she was part of that change. We do adore her, still consider her family, and we're glad that she is out there and is going to do more great things for veterans to come. She is a veteran herself, and we just wish her as well Godspeed and blessings. Stacy Huey and Pat McManaman, my husband and my partner in life, who helped us put all this together and be able to do this here, have been a great help. They came in and trained a little bit, so you guys got to see them in action. Stacy did a remote, and I think Pat was live with you guys. Through this COVID, we've been a little of both. We've been virtual and we've been face-to-face, but I think that with even the changes as an organization and as class members, we were all able to get through this with grace and style. So I'm proud of everyone here. All our board members, amazing time, treasures, talents that everybody has given. General Mike Fleming, I can't thank you enough again. Some of you may be wondering how you can get involved. Unfortunately, there are many ways you can help. Our 4th annual Veterans Cup. If anybody likes to shoot out there, shoot shotguns, I am a big fan. I love to shoot. I have a gun that's much smaller than most, so any women out there that want to shoot, you can borrow my gun and come out there. It's a clay shoot on September 25th. We'd love to have you. Last year's event was a total blast, and the pun is intended on that. So don't miss the opportunity to register. The Eventbrite link is in the chat window. If you'd like to be a sponsor, please call us directly, 904-328-1600. Our 2020 Heroes Gala, you saw a little bit of the video that we showed at the last one, is going to be December 5th. Mark your calendars. We hope our alum could be there. We would like all of you to meet some of our alum. We would love for you all to be there and join us at the Sawgrass Marriott. This is our marquee event, so please stay tuned for more information. If you want to be a sponsor on either one of those events, please call me directly at one of those numbers or look at us on our website and get a hold of us. Our Loyalty Brigade, this is a way for anyone to donate through our program. It's an easily monthly donation of $19 or more a month. And if you sign up today, you will get one of these lovely tile bracelets that I wear all the time. It has all the branches of the military plus ONU logo on it. So if you sign up today, you will get one of those. And if you would like more information on how to get involved or have any questions, you can send an email here at info@ONUVets, again, or call me at 904-328-1600. At this very moment, we'd like to have Chaplain Shaddix come back up to close out our program with a brief word of prayer.
All right, can you hear me?
Technology is lovely. Hold on, we're getting there.
Okay, if you can hear me, let us pray. Gracious and mighty God, thank you for this beautiful day. I'm so very grateful to hear founders and graduates giving you the praise, the glory, and the credit for everything today. With endless opportunities ahead, we praise you for giving us a country and fill these graduates with wisdom for the wonderful possibilities ahead. Give them indescribable peace and immeasurable joy in each new day. Please keep their skills sharp, their discipline acute, and their judgment keen, and continue to bless them wherever they go and empower them to be a blessing wherever they go. We ask this in your holy name. Amen.
ONUVets.org. Thank you all for your support of Operation Uniform and the veterans we serve. God bless you.